where dream fights come to life.
What is going on, y'all? Sorry that we've been kind of slow as of late, but it's a new year, new show. Mythical Matchups is back. My name is Brown Sugar, and we have
Party Marty, aka Light Brown Sugar.
and today we got a myriad of things that we're going to discuss. So Marty, Party Marty,
Yes, sir.
aka Loud Brown Sugar, what's on the docket for today?
Well, first I want to talk about I did my own little audio about it. I wanted to get it out there as it's been making its rounds about how serious is Ryan Garcia taking this fight coming up with his fight next month. So I want to discuss, and I don't know if you've seen anything on social media about him just taking these lie detector tests about the Haney fight still, saying that he didn't cheat, and then him hitting mitts in the living room with a random guy. I think his dad's the trainer. He hasn't been sparring. Well, at least I haven't seen anything with him in an actual gym sparring anybody. So I just want to know if you've been seeing any of that lately. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, I've been seeing it, and the thing is, I am not sure how serious this whole situation is. Remember, before he fought Devin Haney, he had the same issues. Acting crazy, out partying. And what happened? He came prepared. Albeit he missed weight, but he was fight ready. I think right now, he's been fighting for a while. He's relaxed. I don't think as a fighter, you have to show everything. I just think when it comes down to it, you just gotta be prepared for the fight. You don't have to show your videos of your training, your road work, but you can just show whatever you want to show because it's up to your opponent to come ready, and it's up to you and your team to come prepared for the fight that's set to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, but this is not like a you situation that we know you're always prepared, or somebody that we know don't have disciplinary issues. We're talking about a guy that looked like shit when he fought Raleigh Romero. That fight was horrible. He didn't come in prepared at all for that fight. Even the Haney fight, I thought the fight was close, minus the knockdowns, right? So I thought he could have been better prepared for that fight too. And it's not a situation where it's just a guy like you said, I'm going to show you tidbits of this and this. I'm not going to show you everything. We know the guy's crazy in terms of some of the stuff he posts all over social media all the time. I think he just gets too distracted. I think he's more of a social media kid than a real boxer. I just feel that this is a serious fight because Mario Barrios is dead serious. He's going to come and he's going to bring everything. Like his last fight was a draw against Pacquiao. He looked better than Garcia looked his last fight. So I feel like he's starting to look like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Do you not agree with that? This training.
No, let's keep it a buck. LB, everyone on that card looked terrible when he fought Rolly Romero.
True.
Rolly won and Rolly looked terrible.
True.
Everyone looked bad. I think it was just that day and just to set up for the fight because it was in a different situation. They were in Times Square. It was blocked off. They're fighting outside. They probably weren't used to the environment. So I'll give him a pass on that. But Mario Barrios, I think that he'll be ready for this fight. Mario Barrios is a little taller. He doesn't carry the power. He's tough. He's in your face. He can box here and there. But he also struggled with the 40-plus-year-old Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Saw him struggle. Manny Pacquiao arguably could have won that fight.
Right.
So I think Ryan Garcia is just enjoying the fact that he might have an easier fight stylistically. And I don't think he's going to show everything he has to show. He's not going to put all his cards on the table because sometimes if someone sometimes like perception could be one thing. For some people, perception is reality. But when you think about it, social media, perception is not reality.
Yeah.
It's fake. So he could be showing one thing and it could all be an act.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we can see that. We're going to see next month. That's just, your opinion is valid. That in your thoughts are valid. That's just my feelings. Like I said, he's just a guy I always felt. I think he could do a little bit more. I think he could be easily a top 5 pound for pound fighter in the world, and he has all the God-given talents. Like I saw, even I'm not saying Chavez is going to be outstanding or great like his dad, but he had the abilities, the size, like Chavez, the chin. Chavez had the chin, but he just didn't have heart. I just don't think either of them have the heart to be in it, or mentally. He's like you said, it's like 80 to 90%, 90% mental to be on top. So I could be wrong, but I just feel like him is hitting mitts of random people in the middle of his living room. I'm getting Chavez flashbacks. He's training whenever he wants, not doing the serious camps. I haven't seen him. Who's his trainer? His dad?
His dad's a trainer, but remember this: we're in a time where personality is a bigger deal than your actual skill set.
Hmm.
That came about. It's been like that in America for a while.
Yeah.
We have great boxers that should be bigger names, but the thing is, they don't properly promote themselves.
Right.
But then we have Ryan Garcia, who has some skills. He's flat. He has some flash. He has some power, but he's known from social media.
Yeah.
That's his moneymaker. That's what made him a big deal. Social media. Look at Jake Paul. Jake
Hmm.
Paul became a star from social media. And now a lot of these boxers are trying to parlay social media into their career, and some people are getting bigger from the career off of their social media background.
Yeah.
They're parlaying their social media in with their career, and they're making more money off of their following.
Right. Yeah, I get that part. Well, I think as I'm saying, maybe more of like as a fight fan, I'm a little disappointed like in him or Tank Davis because you and me as hardcore fans, we're looking for the next generation of fighters to keep this going. We watched it since we flashback. We obviously weren't around, but we watched old films from the 50s, the 60s. We're around for the 80s and 90s. We saw that the early 2000s. So we're looking for the next set of the 4 or 5 kings like we saw in the 80s and 90s and all that. So I think it's a little disappointed to how their careers are panning out. I expect them to be better. And like I said, if I had all that talent like Garcia, it's a little disappointing just to see how he's playing out his career. Again, it's his life and how he does and how he wants to live his life in his career. But I'm just saying, as a fight fan, I want to see more from him because he could be a great star. He could be, like I said, a top 5 pound per pound boxer right now.
Well, I think that we should wait and see how he looks versus Mario Barrios,
True.
because let's say he comes out and looks stunning,
Yeah.
gets a first or second round knockout, drops Mario Barrios multiple times en route to the knockout finish. Then what would you say?
I'll say then whatever he's doing is correct.
Yeah, so
The
like we
top.
don't know yet. You don't know yet. I just say we just wait till the fight date.
Okay. That's fair enough. Now it looks like hasn't officially been official yet, but it's coming from their social media posts and all that. It finally looks like we're getting Virgil Ortiz versus Jerron Boots Ennis. What do you think about that?
I love that fight. I feel like Virgil Ortiz is more proven, but Jerron Boots Ennis passes the eye test a little more because he's flashier, he's more flamboyant with his style, carries pop in both hands, can fight from both stances. But he has yet to face anyone that's worth a damn, in my opinion. Like Virgil Ortiz has fought a tougher schedule, and Virgil Ortiz has looked just as impressive, not as flashy. The only time we've seen a chink in his armor is versus Sergey Bohuchuk, and Bohuchuk can make anyone look bad with his awkwardness and his awkward timing. He's long and rangy, but he's still skilled and he carries power. So Sergey can make anyone look bad. But Virgil Ortiz passed that test and then went on to beat Majimov pretty easy, beat him down. So and then he stopped Lubinson in the second round. Erickson Lubin in the second round. So I mean, we thought that Lubin would pose a test to Virgil Ortiz because he could move really well and he's dynamic, he's athletic, but Virgil was too much for him. So let's see how this matchup plays off because Boots looks great, but we've yet to see him face anyone that's a true terror.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, his best one's probably Stanislaus at 147. Like you said, I think this is kind of been of a shallow division for him to really. Everyone wanted to see the Crawford fight, and whatever reason that didn't get made, unfortunately. So he did what he's supposed to do: is move up and fight possibly one of the top guys in at 154, arguably one of the top guys at 154. So I agree. I think Boots passes the eye test. I hear nothing but great things about him in sparring and training and all that. And I think his size. I know we discussed this before. I favor him this fight just by the eye test, just seeing how both of them fight and how they handle their opponents. I know you say Virgil's a very underrated boxer. He's very skilled, and yeah, I think so too. But I think Boots' size, and I think this is athleticism and speed to me is going to be the difference maker in this fight. So
Yeah,
that
I see. I don't go up. So I don't go off of size, speed, and all that until I see someone like, for instance, now Moses Toma was a little different because I've heard stories about him, and we saw him against like Mario Watt. We've seen Marius Watt, who's proven, even though he's older. We see him against Mike Balagoon, who's solid. We saw him dismantle Dylan White. He's looked consistent. Now, Boost didn't look that good versus Karan Kachuzin,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I think that, at 147, he was a bigger guy, but now he's at 154. He's facing a guy that's just as big and just as strong. So I think that I want to see him face, like, okay. So with Virgil Ortiz, we've seen him face people that are bigger,
Mhm.
they're a little faster, they're stronger, and all that. We have yet to see Boots face someone that has had any advantage over him.
Mhm.
Yet, period. He's had every advantage of speed, strength, mobility, athleticism. Every advantage has been in his corner. Toughness. Now he's meeting someone that's more his match. That also carries a strong amateur background as well. So that's why I think that, like, this might be different, because we've seen guys look dynamic, and then when they face someone, that person might be their kryptonite.
Yeah.
Prince Nassim Ahmed versus Barrera.
Mhm.
You know, Prince Nassim looked dynamic, killing everybody. Barrera was a basic Mexican boxer, got in his chest and was his kryptonite. So we just don't know till we see it.
Right. No, yeah, I agree. That's why I said this eye test is different until they actually get in there and fit and fight the proper opponents, like you said. So I'm still leaning with Boots aside. I think he has something in him. I don't know. I could be wrong. Again, when the fight happens, we're about to see. It could end up just being like Lacey versus Calzaghe, right? Lacey was supposed to be the big
Yeah.
dog, you know.
But
Lacey,
here's the thing: we saw Lacey struggle versus Scotty Pemberton.
yeah,
Remember that?
yeah,
He struggled with Scotty Pemberton, and everyone overlooked that, saying, "You know what? Maybe this is a bad fight." I think he looked okay against Omar Shika, if I'm not mistaken. But
right,
Scotty Pemberton pushed him and actually rocked him a few times or hit him a few good times, and everyone was like, "You know what? We'll give him a pass because that one." Andre Berto, same thing. Adrian Broner,
yeah,
same thing. There've been so many people that passed the eye test. Panchito Bajado.
yeah,
Remember him?
yeah,
Everyone had, let's see how he looks. I think he's a great fighter from what I've seen, but at the same time, I would like to see him fight Virgil Ortiz, because one thing about Boots is Boots will fight you, and
yeah,
Virgil Ortiz will fight you as well. So this is a great matchup. I
yeah,
favor Virgil just a little bit, just because of he's been at the weight class a little longer, but just off of experience too. But you just never know. It's 45-55 to me,
yeah.
Virgil.
I agree. It's we're gonna see if we're gonna see the best Boots, and if that's enough, we're about to find out. Some, like you said, sometimes these fights bring out the best out of you. I'm not making
Yeah.
excuses. Sometimes when you look at other sports and all that, sometimes teams or even fights, they fight down to their opponent. Even if they're a weaker opponent, sometimes they perform low and not hyped. So this is the type of fight where Boots better be at his best because you got no more excuses, like you're saying. So we'll see. I'm excited for the fight. But in other news too is this is only according to AJ's father, or sorry, uncle. There's no direct quote from AJ. Eddie Hearn just came out and didn't say anything about retirement, but AJ got in that bad accident, lost his best friends. So there's sources of him saying possibly retiring. What do you think?
You know, I could see him retiring.
Yeah,
His two best friends were in all his camps,
yeah,
part of his team, and now going into the Tyson Fury fight, he might need to make a new team, a whole new team. So imagine every team you've been to, Robert Garcia, Derek James, he's been to so many different camps, but his two main guys were with him for every camp.
yeah,
Now, imagine your two main guys gone.
yeah. That's hard.
You know, Yeah, that's tough. So, like I really think that if he chooses to retire, you know, he has a great career, and I don't fault him for doing that.
Yeah. It's one thing losing your best friends, but it's nothing actually being in there in the car with them and going through the whole accident and all that. So yeah, I think processing that and being involved is a little bit emotionally different. And I agree. So yeah, he's made a lot of money. He's done a lot for the UK boxing scene. So and boxing in general. So yeah, I wouldn't fault him too for retiring. It'll suck in terms of fight fans that we never got to see that Fury fight, but it is what it is. Life is more important. So
Or the Wilder fight.
oh, or Wilder fight too. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing too. That would have been another one. But they're saying now, another news, Canelo and Munguia turned down your boy Iglesias for the mandatory title fight. So what do you think about that?
Well, expected Canelo to, due to the fact that he has elbow surgery,
Yeah.
so he's probably still healing from that. Munguia, I don't fault him because no one knows who Azaleas is. No one knows Azaleas Iglesias. No one knows him. He's a Cuban boxer that fights out of Germany, and now you're starting to see a resurgence in German boxing with your boy Agit Caballero. Agit Caballero just put German boxing on his back and was like, "Hey, we're back." And he's
Yeah.
fighting this weekend, so I'm a fan of his. I think he's one of the most dangerous heavyweights out there right now. He's the giant killer, that's what they call him. Uh, his body punching, his pressure, his cardio, his footwork, he has it all. But I think that Iglesias is a killer. He's not your typical Cuban boxer. He's more of a Cuban brawler, puncher, boxer. He'll
Yeah.
come and get you out there. He's not dancing around. He's not playing around. He's not like what's that other guy's name? The one that lost to Benavidez, David
Yeah.
Morrell. He's
Uh,
not much like David Morrell. He has a different temperament than David Morrell.
yeah.
He's a seek and destroy fighter, and when he seeks you, he destroys you. And I think Munguia, that's a tough fight for Munguia right there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
For
I don't think,
anybody.
yeah. Well, I just heard that he's in negotiations with Resendez, Armando Resendez. So that fight's more, I think, more friendly for him because, yeah, looking at Iglesias, like I said, he's big. He's a high risk, low reward type of fight right now because, like I said, no one wants to fight him. He's a guy that he'll be a tough fight for anybody, especially with Munguia and with the losses he's been dealing with lately in his style. And like you said about Canelo too. So yeah, I think Resendez better fight for Munguia right now in terms of styles and where he's at in his career. So is that, and then also one more thing too. News on the boxing gods heard us, and this got confirmation for in a couple months. It's going to be your boy Nakatani versus Anyway in Japan.
Yeah, I'm shocked because I thought that was going to take place in Riyadh season, but
Right.
I'm happy that's taking place in Japan.
Had to.
Tokyo Dome. It's going to be the
Uh,
Tokyo Dome
I'm not sure if it's Tokyo Dome or where it's going to be our Satana Super Center. I'm not sure.
because the match. I wish that something like that would have been on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, oh, that would have been.
Think about it. That's the
Yeah,
biggest show for Japan. The biggest time for fights in Japan is during New Year's, and but I'm glad it's happening. I think we're gonna see the best of both fighters. I really think Nakatani could be a spoiler just because I think that he's had one tough fight, Sebastian Hernandez, but I think that I think what's his name? I'm going to blank his name. Naoya Inoue is probably the best pound for pound fighter, but I think that Father Time's catching up. I think he's catching up, man. I think Father Time's gonna catch up to him on this one. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that that's gonna happen.
yeah. I mean, that's why they fight. Anything happens. I mean, even if he does lose, it's only one loss. It's only one blemish
Yeah,
on his.
yeah. He's all time great still.
Of course, yeah, yeah, definitely. So that's it on my end in terms of news that we didn't cover or what happened since we last got on together. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch bases on.
No, I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen this year.
Yeah,
I heard like people stating that 2025 was a great year for boxing. I disagree. I think 2026 will be far greater.
yeah,
2025 to me was kind of slow. kind of a letdown in a sense. But so far, from what I've seen with 2026, especially this month,
Yeah.
we have some good fights this month.
Yeah.
Starting out this weekend, Naiba versus at Caballero.
Yeah.
I love that Geet fight. I don't know much about Naiba, but you know the guys from Germany can always fight. They've
Yeah.
been fighters ever since the Klitschko's. It's just been quiet as of late, but now
Abraham.
they're back. Yep, Arthur Abraham. Yeah, Felix Sturm. They're
Sure.
back. Yeah, and so I'm glad to see German boxing back. Only thing I wish is that American boxing would pick up. I wish American combat sports would pick up. I wish that Golden Boy, I mean, not Golden Boy, but I wish Top Rank would have a TV deal by now,
Right.
which is crazy. Abbas Baru versus Xander Zayas is this month too as well. You
Yeah.
know, Timo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson this month. You know, we have some good fights, man. So yeah, you know, I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it.
Me too. No, definitely. Yeah. No, I agree. And yeah, I'm excited for I think our next show when we get closer to the end of the month, was only the 8th, we really got to get more in depth and breakdown of the Lopez Shakir fight.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We know what we think. You know, everyone knows what to think, but I just think that I really think that we might get a chance to see a better Tiafimo, but I think we'll see a better Shakur. And if Dalton Smith could pull off the upset this weekend, we might see Dalton Smith face the winner. Or if some Matias can look great, Matias could face the winner.
Right.
So I'm all for Matias facing the winner of Stevenson versus Lopez.
Yeah. No, I'm all for that too. And I want to see my boy Santa Martin start getting some more love again too. You know, he's been
Yeah,
quiet.
when's he fighting? You know, when's he fighting again?
I haven't heard anything from him or his camp since that his last fight where he got screwed again. I mean, his last 2 fights he's got BS decisions, so I can understand probably why he's like whatever right now mentally. It's tough,
Yeah.
all that time in, then you lose 2 controversial decisions. It mentally it puts a role, plays a role on you. So I have like again, I haven't heard anything from him yet. So hopefully he gets back in the mix because he's too good not to be fighting.
Well, he's a tough matchup, and I can see him getting avoided for that reason.
Yeah,
You know, he can be blacked out just because he's so dangerous.
yeah,
His style, you know, he won't get you out of there, but he's so quick. He moves really well. He can counterpunch. He can make you look stupid. He can make you look slow, and he can beat you. If you're gonna beat him, you gotta knock him out. You have to outwork him, which is hard to do, or you have to beat him via controversial decision, which
yeah,
seems like it's easier to do.
yeah. It is. I know you weren't too high on him, but he reminds me a lot of when Sergio Martinez was in his prime and he was doing his thing at 160. Just his style, leaving his hands down, just baiting you in, and able. This is his reflexes, like you said, his counter punching, his footwork. This reminds me a lot of Sergio minus the power. That's why I like
Hold on, hold on. I like Sandor Martin. As a matter of fact, I didn't know who he was, and I
no
was
no
like, Mike Garcia about to beat this guy.
Martinez.
Oh, I like Sergio. I love Sergio. Yeah, I like Sergio. Sergio's my. I watched him fight in Atlantic City. I think Martin Murray.
Murray, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was there. You know,
Yeah, that was a good
so
fight.
yeah, yeah, it was a good fight. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Sergio Martinez can fight, man.
Oh yeah, sure can. Got the dog in him.
Yeah.
So on the next episode, I want to do is do something with you. You and other future fighters we may be able to get on our show. But I want to do with you is go over the list of maybe shoot off like 20 past and present light heavyweights in the history of MMA, and you tell me, give me a breakdown if you would win or not.
All right, cool. We could do that. And also, I'm gonna reach out to my boy, brother Fareed, actually my mentor and my
Okay.
friend, brother Fareed Samad, and see if we can bring him on the show. He's
Yeah.
one of Devin Haney's trainers. He trained Carmel Motan. He trained Alicia Baumgartner. He trained Tony Harrison for when the fight when Tony Harrison defeated Charlo.
Oh yeah.
He trained Dane Jacobs. So brother Fareed was also an Olympic alternate. He lost to David Reed, the
Oh wow.
American Dream David Reed, in the box house. So
Right.
this guy knows his box. Yeah.
Definitely. That'd be an honor. What's going on, Moten? Speaking of which, seems like Floyd is kind of this whatever about him now.
Well, Floyd is fighting, has 2 fights. Fighting Mike Tyson, then he's fighting Pacquiao. And
No,
Floyd's
no, no.
always been whatever.
I'm talking about he's a mentor of Carmelo Moulton. What's going on with him? I haven't heard much of him.
Yeah, you haven't because Floyd's busy getting fights.
Uh, gotcha.
Floyd's fighting Pacquiao, and he's fighting
Tyson, yeah.
Mike Tyson. So I mean, how can you mentor somebody when you're busy setting up fights for yourself?
Right. So he's not doing his job is what you're saying.
Well, Carmel has a dad, and Carmel knows boxing. I think about this. How many fighters are on the money team right now?
Not many that I can think of anymore. 2?
Two?
1?
Floyd, Carmel.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
what mentoring could he possibly be doing? If he hasn't done it yet, he's never gonna do it.
Right.
No
Yeah.
knock against Floyd. Floyd's a busy man, so can't expect him to train or mentor just one person.
Right. I agree. Okay. All right. That's it on my end.
Yeah, man. So I guess we'll bring it back like Saturday or Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right,
Yeah.
man.
All right.
Yeah.